She's a child.
What are you, child? You meet them? This is Mike.
Smack his hand. I'm taking it right now.
This
This is Mike McCall. This is Gail. My niece.
No.
Yeah.
Did it
You had
really-
to get a picture of that.
Gail, it's a green egg. Green eggs and ham.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like green eggs and ham? Gail, I'm not kidding you. It's really, and it's warm. It's warm. Does that mean it just got laid?
Yeah, she probably
Just got laid. That's good.
Right.
This egg just got laid.
There's a golf ball in there, I think.
These
What are
are
you psyching them
They're
out?
just psychs them out, yeah, that make them sit
Makes
on
them
their
think they
net.
did something.
This egg is warm. That the chicken just laid it, right?
Probably did, yeah, that one just
Isn't that interesting? And it's green. Now, why is it green? Because it just got.
No,
Cooked up?
some chickens like green eggs, you know. And
I don't understand. Is it their diet? Is it what they ate that makes it?
Special birthdays. And when Roberta come, I think.
When Roberta comes, huh?
That's a special day.
That's right.
Yes, sir. I told her I was going to come out there, but the last time I talked to her on the phone, I pretty near promised I'd come, but
Come back out to California.
I don't know what I wanted to see all you children. Of course, they couldn't get to see Melody or I don't know Ron maybe or couldn't get all together at that new house. I never seen the new house. You see,
Oh,
I
it's
remember
nice.
Hacienda Heights.
Hacienda.
I can remember that streets and all over which way turn and all around things.
They
Now,
live out in Alpha
your
Loma
front
now.
yard and the backyard.
Yeah. They have a very nice home.
Well,
Very
see,
nice
there's one reason I wanted to come too, but I just I can't see good enough or hear too good, so wouldn't have any trouble coming on the airplane. I could get it Chicago or Denver or any place that I have to transfer. I can go ahead and transfer without a bit of trouble. Make it all right because I've done it so many times.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we got to see some snow in Chicago yesterday.
Did you?
Yes, big flakes, big huge flakes in Chicago.
Well, we had played here too last night and this morning.
Yeah. We were looking at it out the window. Do you use those earphones to hear TV?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. It cuts off for me. I don't know. It's on.
Oh, it has a short in it?
I don't know.
Does it have a short in it?
Yeah, there's a little short in it. I can't figure it out. I have to move these around a little bit and then it'll come on.
In movies?
Cowboys.
I've got a son that likes John Wayne and a husband that likes to watch John Wayne cowboy movies too.
Oh, I don't blame him. That's my favorite too.
He's a darn good actor.
I remember when I was up to Seattle visiting Doris and Ingebar, and John Wayne was on the morning news all the time there from Seattle out to where they lived. And he stayed a whole week, and I heard him every morning, just a short time before he died too. And I enjoyed him talking. His coarse voice just kind of done something to me.
You like to hear him,
Yeah.
huh?
Well,
She's taking movies of you. We were wondering if you'd talk to us and get a picture of you.
Well, I think you're looking a whole lot different than you did. You're looking
You think
different.
so, huh?
You're darn right.
I've lost a little bit of weight.
I know you have. I can tell it.
Yeah. I'm a lot more happier now with myself.
I think so. Yes, sir. I'm just a little bit worried about you.
Well, I'm worried about me too.
When you and your dad are sitting out there in that your big camper or trailer, whatever you talked about there at the end of Doris and Ingebar's house, getting ready to go home for there, I think, that day, and you were sitting there, and you looked sad to me that right then. So I figured I could explain it. So that's the reason I was saying what I was saying.
Well, I'm happy now. I'm awfully happy. I have a good husband and good kids, and everybody's pretty healthy and strong, and family's real nice. Yeah. I think it's pretty good of both our husbands to let us take this trip out here, and both her husband, Brent, and my husband Bob are taking care of the kids for the whole week. So that's pretty good husbands to be able to
That's right.
let us do this and. Don't you think he looks just like Ron? Look at the camera, please.
Hi. Howdy. he got a lot of friends around. He might have got that cheaper one I need.
I got it for nothing.
It's possible.
This is Grandpa Ruth. Are you taping?
Mhm.
This is Grandpa Ruth, Robert Lloyd Ruth. He's what, 90? How old are you, Grandpa? 91?
91 and
And almost 92. And June 27th? What? June 27th?
June the 27th,
You'll be 92?
1895,
My
in the year
goodness.
of our Lord.
1895.
Yeah. Let's see, 12 and 5 be 17. I was 17 years old when the old Titanic went down.
Sure,
All
everything
those
can.
people on Rockefeller, Mellon, Vanderbilt, John Jacob Astor.
You remember all those guys, huh? I want to get in this picture with you.
Okay, John
So you-
Jacob Astor, he went down the boat. His
Oh, he
wife-
did? With the
yeah, but
Titanic?
his wife was saved though.
Huh.
Mrs. Astor. But John Jacob, of course, was a millionaire. You've heard that, I guess.
No, I didn't. Tell me. I don't know.
Well,
I didn't. You lived through it. I didn't live
all the
through it.
Rockefellers, Vanderbilts, the ship was maiden voyage. It went on that, but it sank as on maiden voyage.
Uh-huh.
And I think the ship was owned by England. England, of course, that's where the trip was made to England and back. And coming back, I guess they all had a drink or two, little nip maybe. They hit that big iceberg. It was iceberg bigger than this house that you hit like that.
You were 17 years old?
That's what I was trying to tell you,
Yeah.
Esther. I'd be 17. 12, it was
Snowing.
at 19 and 12 is what I'm trying to say. That's when it went down, 19
Yeah.
and 12. And if you take it out, they take out 12 and add it on to the 5 in 1895 there that I had living.
That's right.
The five,
I'm not very good at math, Grandpa.
Five-
Don't do that.
5 and 12 would be 17, of course.
I would have to take math twice to get a decent grade in it. I can't. I'm not very good at math.
And then, of course, that's what I root my origin on, too, the sinking of the Titanic. That's the reason
Oh,
I
you
own it.
did? That's why you know everything about it.
Yes, right.
Oh, you tricked me. You wrote a paper on it. That's why you know so much about it.
I remember I wrote that oration all myself, too. You're not
Why-
supposed to have any help doing that.
What did you write it for? School?
Yeah, when I
For school.
graduated.
For your graduation.
Yeah, I had to read it, I guess. I did.
What school did you graduate from?
Right where that picture was taken, there were these girls.
Remember the
went
name of it?
to
What was the name of it?
Pleasant Valley High School.
Pleasant Valley High School. And where?
Of course,
Athens?
Shade.
Shade? Shade, Ohio.
Of course, Georgiaville's another name for Shade.
It is?
Shade's the post office. Georgiaville's a town.
I didn't know that.
And that's right. Georgiaville, of course, you went to Georgiaville to your mom and see if she don't brighten up. And ask you how you found that out.
How about, oh no, Jerseyville, huh? I want to mention Jerseyville.
That's right.
I've never heard it called that. It's always been
Well,
Shade.
that's the name of the town. Shade's the post office.
Okay.
In Jerseyville, the people come from New Jersey and settled in that town.
Oh, so they called it that, huh?
Okay, there's like a
That's why they called it.
That's history. I could just go ahead and talk.
I love history,
I can
Grandpa.
talk
I
to
love
you on
history.
history for
Yes, I
months at
do.
a time.
I love history. Don't give me any math, but I love history.
Oh, there's a map right behind that dresser there someplace.
Not a
I
map.
wondered how about the states located there like Washington and Oregon, California, same way going there to Idaho and then come Montana. Idaho's close to Montana.
You know right where it is.
And
Huh?
sure, we did. I was over there in North Dakota for those
Did you?
seven
Yeah. Did
years.
you live in North Dakota with Sue and Dave?
Yeah,
Right.
sure. That's where I had to take care of Cherry while Dave and Sue was out taking care of Dave in Omaha, Nebraska when he was burned up in that fire. They called at 12 o'clock at night.
Who was burned up?
Called
Dave
at
was
12
in a
o'clock at
motel
night.
fire.
Instead of
This
Dave.
Dave.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Been in a big fire for Sue to come immediately. And she had to catch an airplane and go.
And so you watched Sherry during that time.
Oh, yeah. All of that. You see, you just
I
keep
don't
me
wanna be in
from
it.
going through one of those spells I was trying to tell you
Well,
guys about.
Well, we don't want that to happen.
No, sir, I don't either because
Am I supposed to say green
seems
Uh-huh.
like I'm passed out for. I don't want to.
You want us to let you take a nap for a while?
No,
No?
I never. No. I stay up from 5 o'clock in the morning till 9 at night. Go to bed at 9.
You do better than I do.
Well, I've had more experience.
That's true. Come about 1 o'clock, I'm ready to lay down for a while.
Well, I know. I can see you yet today when I first seen you, and we lived on Manchester Avenue, and you was over visiting Margaret, and I don't know whether you was married though then or not. But anyhow, you told me an awful lot of things that I never told anybody else. I'll always remember you there. You was having a lot of trouble about marriage and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, her boyfriend. I don't know what the
I'm sure it was boyfriend.
Probably with a boyfriend. I haven't had too many troubles with my marriage, but
Well,
boyfriend problems I had a lot of.
well, that's all.
Yeah, like she was engaged to every guy.
I was engaged about 4 times before I found the right one.
That's it. Well, I know you got the right
You've had this all on tape, huh?
You better make sure it sounds good, baby. Brent's gonna be watching.
Anything else you might talk about?
Your
Let's talk about your past.
your old back was bothering you a little bit.
Yeah?
That's that time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He's over to Margaret's quite a bit there too. And we had a big apple tree there in our front backyard. You remember?
Yeah?
Whether you can remember that apple tree or not, I do. I'm crippled right here on my right wrist now by being up in that apple tree, cutting the limbs off. The sprouts, the limbs just thick like that, way up the top of that tree. And I had a ladder and climbed up the tree and had a little thing a hand cutter to cut those little sprouts off. And I cut them all off there. And I always like to put a ladder right straight up when I'm in a tree. And the women all around there come and says, "Don't do that, Robert, so you're gonna fall." I tell them I'm doing this now.
Let me do it my way.
Yes, sir. I went right ahead and worked till I got all those limbs cut. And now I'm paying for it with a store wrist.
Should listen to those women, huh?
Oh, sometimes we know what we're talking about.
Was a time though I'd looked at some women and had an automobile wreck too.
Oh no!
What? Looking at some women and got in an automobile wreck.
That Oldsmobile that I used to have a 68. Yeah, 68
Can you get
Oldsmobile.
spaces stand in the way?
Paid $4,300 for it, I think. And doggone if that wreck was caused by a turning around and watching a couple on the sidewalk, I guess, when I was coming home from work. And run into
What'd you run into?
Run into about an automobile and stopped for a stoplight, and there's about 8 cars that all crammed up each other right there, just because I ran into the back end.
Were they worth it?
Yeah, they were just neighbors running an automobile on the street.
No, where the girls were seeing.
They were just walking the sidewalk, and I turned around and looked at them.
Yeah. They must have been good looking.
I don't remember. Well, that's history again.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I lived at that where I got that new home. That's what's the name of that? I can't name the street.
What are you thinking about? Karen Drive?
Karen Drive.
Good.
That girl come up.
Boy, I'll tell you, I'm pretty smart.
Well, Lord, see, that's
She
right.
don't know much about math,
You
but she
sure
knows
told me not
about.
to come up with that Karen Drive. I couldn't think of it.
Actually, Sue helped me. Sue told me she's.
Oh.
have to give credit.
I don't know where Karen Drive is.
Well, that's where I bought a new home. That's the only new home I ever bought. Of course, from that, when I did sell that new home to diggers, everybody else, even Wayne moved out of that project there too. Wayne was about one of the first families. Peggy, I guess.
Right next door.
Peggy, just a little girl
Yep.
at that time.
Yep. We used to beat them off our fence, Grandpa.
Like flies.
Yeah.
And I was the last one to sell that one.
You hung. Oh, where was that? Where was that? Karen Drive. What town? Columbus? Here?
Near Livingston Avenue in Columbus.
Columbus. Okay.
Yeah.
Was
That's where I bought it. It was a brand new home. Nice
17th Avenue.
That's right, 17th, and what is that there street runs north and south?
Woodland.
Okay, that's right.
Been there many times.
Jack was just a little devil, and he asked this guy, "What's your name?" Jack says to this man, they're talking things over politics, it's about election time, and this man says, "Zachariah Taylor."
Oh.
Zachariah.
There is a maybe it's Taylor instead of Tyler, maybe. Maybe I'm wrong about that, Tyler. Maybe it's Zachariah Taylor, anyhow. That is just a funny name, but this guy wasn't telling Jack, Jack wasn't telling Jack his real name. And when Jack asked his name, he said Zachariah Taylor. And that's, if you know the President of the United States, you know what I'm talking about. But I don't remember.
I don't
I had a
remember
test
that
in
well.
math. Now you get a test in
Yeah.
history.
Grandpa remembers. I could just
Something
say,
I memorized for 30 minutes.
I could start right at the first and go right clear through to
You can do that?
Donald Reagan.
You can't do
Right
that.
through to Donald Reagan. Of course, the only one president I ever shook hands with was Teddy Roosevelt. I was just about that high, and I was on the steps of Athens there when he come to give a speech, and I was among the bunch standing on the lower steps there, down the old Theodore Roosevelt, who I'm talking about. Of course, Teddy's his nickname, but he was running for president at the time, and he'd given this presidential speech, and he mentioned about that little red-headed boy right down on the bottom steps there, and that was me.
That was you.
I can remember as well as it was yesterday.
Golly.
That old President McKinley, of course, was president too, a little long about that time. He got shot in Buffalo, New York at an exposition, Panama, or just an exposition anyhow. World's Fair maybe at the time, I forget anyhow. The name of Zalagaz come along, had his right hand bandaged up with a bandage, had a revolver in that hand and went to shake hands and shot President McKinley there and killed him.
My goodness.
You never knew that either.
No, I might have known it at one time, but I'm not a history person.
And of course I knew it. I was alive at that
Show
time.
your face, Dave.
I didn't have to get it on
Oh,
a
I'm not
history
really
book.
filming.
No? Oh. She's not really.
He was from
Just
Ohio
put the
too,
light on so Grandpa can
McKinley
see.
was, I think.
That's Christy.
This is Christy. Yeah.
Oh, we got
This is Stacy.
that ain't old
Looking
Stacy.
thing.
Stacy Rue here. How old?
Old
12?
Stacy. What's Stacy's middle name?
She's tiny.
Lynn.
He's
Stacy
got two
Lynn.
great grandchildren named
Oh,
Stacy.
I
too.
have,
Christy.
Yeah, L-Y-N.
Ruth.
Christy
Christy Ruth.
Yeah.
You know, two pretty girls, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Really does.
What grade are you in,
Yeah.
Stacy?
Yeah, lots pretty.
What grade are you in?
Green.
Sixth grade.
That's good.
Yeah, we're still pushing her.
She still has to go to school. She hasn't had to get a job yet.
Yeah. Haven't put her out in the.
Off the train down to the station there. I come from Parkersburg up to Athens, and I got off the station, and went into that restaurant where she worked, and it was all full of university students eating dinner at the dinner time.
This is when you met Grandma?
She come right around from the cashier and run around to where I was, and there I come in with my old khaki uniform.
You had your uniform on?
Had an old khaki uniform on, and she grabbed me there, and that's where we.
That was where you met?
No, I'd met her before that.
Oh, where'd you meet her?
At the candy kitchen right across the street with this.
Uh-huh.
And she worked there at the candy kitchen. Old John Peppas, Gus Peppas, both Greeks, were the manager of this candy kitchen. And they had a fellow that made the candy named Steve, I forget his last name, he's Greek anyhow. All three of those Greeks run that candy kitchen there. Eunice was.
How old was she?
She was just about 18, 19, long out.
And you'd already been overseas in the military?
No,
you-
I was working at the Athens State Hospital, and Salem, lieutenant over at Salem at that time, and the post office. I worked at the post office this day. See that Chevrolet on there?
Oh yeah.
I had no post office man.
I didn't know that.
I wasn't wearing this shirt
No, I know
in
you weren't.
1918.
I know you weren't.
Yeah, I worked in the post office. That'll be in that obituary there. You read about that post office work.
And then you met her in the candy kitchen?
Yeah.
What'd she do in
Well,
there?
every time I'd go in that candy kitchen with mail, she would be seeing me come in the door, open the door, and I had a handful of mail and went to this candy kitchen, dressed to the candy kitchen.
Was she a waitress?
And she was a waitress right behind the counter, and she'd get me, she knew I liked lemon dope, it was. They call it dope, but to put you know what dope would be like. To get the vanilla ice cream and then cover it over with
syrup, like?
Yeah, syrup dope. It was lemon.
Uh-huh.
And she'd have that all fixed for me, sitting right on the counter without me saying a darn word.
Well, she was kind of sweet on
Yeah, I think she was going after you, Grandpa.
Well, she got me. her brother, though, tried to stop it. He tried to tell her a lot of stuff about me, and he'd seen me with other girls there.
Who had told her that?
Ray, a fellow named Ray. That was Eunice's brother.
Her brother.
Ray
Her
McCall.
brother tried to discourage her from going
Yeah,
with
he
you.
was trying to discourage it, see. And she would be she always walked. That's when I worked over at the asylum as attendant. She'd walk right up past what Peggy knows where that asylum ground is, don't you, there, Peggy? Yeah, Richland Avenue. I'm talking about Richland Avenue.
I don't
You
remember.
probably don't, but
No.
anyhow, she'd be walking to work, and I'd go down there to the fence and stand on one side of the fence and talk to her. She'd be on the sidewalk, and I was still inside the fence where the asylum was.
Uh-huh.
But anyhow,
How long after that did you get married?
well, I waited then, of course, until I come back from France.
You didn't date before you left? Did you date?
She just wrote to me continually. But anyhow, yeah, I guess that's right. We did have a few dates, I guess, before I left overseas. I remember now we did. And her dad brought her down to Camp Sherman. That's where I sailed from, Camp Sherman, and they probably took me clear up through Canada. They wouldn't take me straight to New York, put me clear up to Canada, then could cross Canada to the Hudson River. You've heard of the Hudson River.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyhow, the Hudson River runs north and south.
But her dad brought her to Camp
And
Sherman to see you
I
off?
remember the train brought me all down that Hudson River. And Grapevine's just sick there. I can see them yet today in 1918. As I come down old Hudson River, and then I hit the Manhattan Bridge, the Brooklyn Bridge, and I forget the other bridge. There's 3 bridges there. Brooklyn Bridge, of course, was a big celebration for it a few years ago here. I forgot how many years, 2 or 3, but anyhow, I had to go under the Brooklyn Bridge in a ship to get to New York, 42nd Street and 5th Avenue. 42nd Street and 5th Avenue, we marched up that street. You've heard of that, I expect. It's the most popular street in.
Why did you march up the street?
Huh?
Why did you march up the street?
Well, when we got off the boat, we had to go find our camp where they was going to put us in billets, you know, you call them
Oh, okay,
billets.
yeah.
And we had to go through the streets there to get to where we was going to. And I remember I always had my clippers with me, and I remember there in New York we had a guy that wouldn't get his hair cut, and I had my triple-out clippers with me. Took them to France, carried them all the time I was in France, cut hair in France, and this guy was sort of against the war, didn't want to go to France or anything like that. We took him in the water. A horse had a watering place where they watered horses. We took this guy, about 4 or 5 of us, and ducked him into that water. Clothes on. I'll never forget that. But I cut his hair anyhow. That's what I.
You clipped his hair, huh?
Yeah.
Well, tell us about when you got back and you got with Grandma, when you got to
Oh.
go back and
Well,
start that
anyhow.
relationship.
Anyhow, I can remember where we got married and all that stuff. But
Where'd you get married?
well, anyhow.
Where did you
Wait a
get
minute,
married?
Right there in Athens, at Methodist. I got the license in the courthouse. A fellow named Thurman Kincaid was auditor, I guess.
Thurman Kincaid was the
Thurman Kincaid. That's the guy that had stopped at our house when I was.
Oh, and he
with
called
Jack
him some
and Jack-
Zachary
Jack-
Taylor,
yeah.
huh?
I could, Thurman Kincaid, the name come, see the name don't come to me like I
Oh,
want. I
man.
want to tell you what that the guy's name was anyhow, but he was auditor in Athens for years and years, this Thurman Kincaid was.
And he gave you your license to get married?
Yep, and then we had to go down across from the courthouse, down the street, turn to left, the Methodist church.
Did you have a
The
big
preacher-
wedding?
the
Did you have a big
preacher had
wedding
a-
where
had a
she
preacher.
walked down the aisle and everything?
No, just went into this minister's house and read the stuff to us, and that was it.
That was it?
That's what you call it, tied it in a hard knot. It lasted all the way.
How many years did that last?
Eunice didn't really believe in divorces, and I didn't either.
Well,
Same way with Gertie. She didn't care about divorce.
how long were you married? How long?
Well,
Till Grandma
the time was like First World War, or Second World War was when Eunice died. It'll be in that obituary tell about that. But anyhow,
How long were you married to her?
from 1943 is when she died, I guess. 1943, yeah. And we were married in 1919. 1919.
That's
Of
24
course, the war ended
24
in
years?
1918.
24 years?
I guess so.
Is that 24? 24 years.
Anyhow, Eunice had an operation, got along just fine, and come home, and I worked at Curtiss-Wright building airplanes for the Second World War, and doggone it, they told me they raced her to the hospital, back to the Grant Hospital where she'd been operated on for 13 days, I believe she laid in that hospital. Wayne was in the hospital at the same time. Same way with Roberta too. Roberta
They
did
were
it.
all, I know Mom was.
Well,
I
there,
didn't know Wayne was. What was
Why,
wrong with
yeah,
Wayne?
Wayne jumped out of an elm tree right on the house where I moved to when I moved from Athens.
Oh, Grandpa, what stress.
And anyhow,
Can you
Wayne
imagine?
jumped out of the house, and I paid $45 a month for this big house. And there's a big elm tree right at the back of the house, and Wayne got used to play at that tree, and he'd jump out the window on that, and the window's right close. He'd get out on that window, jump out and get a hold of a limb. Darn if he didn't fall down.
What did he hurt? What did he
I
do?
know his head, and I don't know his body. He didn't break any bones or anything, but
He was in the
he
hospital,
was in the
and
hospital
Roberta,
when,
Mom was
when
in the
your
hospital?
mom died. Yes, sir.
Or no, yeah, and then
Yeah, Wayne was.
What was Grandma in the hospital for?
What was-
Roberta, I don't know what was the matter, Roberta.
was it appendicitis for Mom? Maybe
Oh,
was it? No, what was it?
I really don't know what took Roberta.
I don't know what Mom was in the hospital for at that time. I can't remember. But what was
but
wrong
Clark-
with Grandma? What was wrong with Eunice?
Well, she had what you call internal bleeding. That operation, she'd healed up, I guess, completely, and brought her home. She'd home a couple or 3 days, and of course, I thought I'd go to work this third day. You know, I'll be darned if she didn't take a big dose of Epsom salts while I was working out Curtiss-Wright in Curtiss-Wright. You know where it is, Fifth Avenue, or Peggy. I think you know where Curtiss-Wright is, maybe. But anyhow, they called me out there, and then wanted me to rush to the hospital, and got up for the hospital, and Eunice says to me, she never said Mom or Dad or Grandpa or anything like that. She just said Robert. Said Robert, if I just hadn't drank that bottle of ginger ale, said I'd have made it. That's the last word she told me. She had drank that bottle of ginger ale, I'd have made it. That's the word she said.
Well, what did she think the Epsom salts was ginger
she
ale?
was bleeding internally, and they had.
Did she drink the Epsom salts by accident?
No, she told you she was a woman that didn't like to take that instead of milk and magnesia or something like that, or X-Lax or something like that. She wanted Epsom salts, and she took it herself on her own, and that is what caused her troubles. And her operation was for that woman trouble that women have. What you call it?
Hysterectomy?
Hysterectomy. I think that's what they took out of her. But then, of course, she got along all right after that. and he'll come home. And then that Epsom salts caused internal bleeding. And I think Doris, right at that time, she was down in the offices downstairs getting a blood test to give Eunice
To give her blood?
blood.
To get blood to her?
Yeah, no, they didn't.
No, that was.
She didn't. She died before they could get it to her.
So you had Mom, and then you had Wayne in the hospital?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Oh, Grandpa, that must have been such a hard time.
You remember my
What do they do
mind
for
and
a
what
living?
was
Do
going
they
through
have
my mind all that time, huh?
That must have been so
That was
hard.
the biggest strain I ever had in all my life.
I imagine it was.
Then to end it all up, I was leaving the hospital when they wheeled her body out of across the street there, old Grant Hospital, moved her body across a little alley, a little street, across the aisle over to another building where they took her body. And then, of course, I didn't see her again till they had her down to Mechanicsburg, where she lived when I married her. Then, of course, took her on to Georgiaville to the Methodist Church, right where these here girls had their picture taken. Yeah, you see why I hang on to that.
You like that building.
That building.
You like
and
that
those-
building.
Yes, sir. And Eunice's picture there. I keep that right by Eunice's picture because it went through so much there in the English Channel across the seas. And I did my backpack and I carried through London and all those big towns. Sat on it many a time and going across the English Channel one night at midnight. They woke us up. Small boat, real small boat. Went from Southampton, England, to over to Le Havre, France. Le Havre.
Try to come out of your shell a little bit. The show is on.
Today we're going to make a salad. We're going to start with, we have radishes and onions, tomatoes, we have mushrooms, cheese, and
Smells wonderful.
well, would you like to try it?
What are you, what's it called? What's her name?
Chef Tell. Then you put the chicken in the pot. That's the muffin.
That's on
No.
Sesame Street.
This,
What's her name?
no, I'm thinking of the
Julia.
Muppets.
What's her name? Julia Child.
Oh.
You do the French accent
Oh, I
now.
can't do that. I can do the Swiss guy on, the Swedish man on the Muppet.
Do that.
Board the board. And he throws everything around.
Boy, Aunt Patty's a funny person, huh?
We don't know any of those people. And they're gonna take a picture of us.
Hi.
Careful.
We're standing here. Yeah, we are. And we're just waiting for dinner.
Looked like a Chinese, and they named it
Oh, there's a can.
Man.
Shit.
And here we go.
You finished this here, you said
I
that.
did. I always thought it was Chinese song. The lights off right here. Can't even see it fast.
Remember when Aunt Margaret used to cook in the room with them 6 balls of
Oh,
popcorn
yeah,
afterwards,
yeah.
and she'd say, "Now look at you and smile."
Yeah. Yeah.
Cheese, cheese, cheese.
Oh, okay.
This is Nadia.
Those came out good last night at the dance, yeah.
I didn't see him.
You didn't see them?
He was dancing last
Oh,
night,
that's right.
Roger.
Yeah. Was it?
That's what I heard. You know.
You didn't see him?
Yeah, I
Not
see.
yet. We're
Okay.
gonna watch.
Yeah, what's left of them after
Yeah.
somebody taped over them already.
Because somebody rewound it back to where I didn't know it was. And,
Oh, no.
oh, well, we...
Jack good?
Yeah, have it.
Taped the square dance thing last night, and I rewound it at the beginning again.
Yeah.
At the
Eddie
end.
do it? Eddie do it?
Just taped
Yeah.
over, probably the best part.
Ooh, hey, get that kid down.
You can tell he's got Ruth's blood in him.
That's right. That's the Roger Ruth coming out.
Cheese, Sam, cheese. Let's see it.
Yeah, so make room again for everyone.
girl have to work?
Yeah. I hear she's making milkshakes now, so I can stop down there and say, give me a little extra nuts and a little couple extra cherries, right?
Does she make banana splits, Roger? Without the bananas? Good bananas, yeah. She made one the other day. She's making a banana split. Put everything in it, you know, and this little girl in the front there says, Mammy says you forgot something. She's making a banana split without putting a banana in it. She forgot. She forgot. The little girl said, you're not putting a banana in it. She had to remember. Just learning, you know.
Oh, yeah.
It takes a while.
Pretty close to home or where?
What's right there on the corner?
Right there, right, just,
I like near to the stop sign.
hey, no, not that far. Here's the
No,
street.
from here to the street.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not that far.
She walked to work there.
Oh, yeah.
Right back the other one.
Take her long to get out on the Livingston. It would be
To get there. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she went to flower place at work.
Yeah.
Hi, Gail.
Oh, somebody's told you that, huh?
Cousin Gail. Yeah.
Well, he was in his room.
So she's fine.
About as much as a white out.
Come on, you guys. Hey, come on, you guys. Come on, you guys.
This is so I won't miss my children.
Come on, you
I have to
guys.
play with all the little kids that I
Come
can
on, you
find. This is Donnie Raver.
Oh.
This is Donnie Raver and Stacy
Gina, when you
Raver
supposed to have the baby?
and Christy Raver. 2 weeks from today. Christy Raver. We think Christy Raver looks a lot like our sister Nancy. Yes, doesn't she? My sister.
You can look.
Well, not you look.
Donnie's in the way.
So we can see Christy
Donnie looks
Raver.
like the dog.
She looks. Look at these.
Donnie looks like
Gotta
the
say
dog.
hi to everybody in California.
Christy's got little freckles and blonde hair like Nancy. Oh, we're not on anymore.
Are we on now? We're on?
You got preempted.
Say hi. Say hi.
Okay, here we go. Da, 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 da,
The two shyest ones here. The two shyest ones.
Yeah, right.
Oh, he ate pretty good.
We're the cutest, right? Number one in the Bruce family.
Ruin everything.
Brother.
Right. Da, 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 da.
I can't see.
Pretty good.
You still taking?
No,
Look
huh?
at them guys.
No, she's a liar. She takes all the This is John. We're saying hi. Say hi.
All right, everyone, come.
Did you get Regina? Regina's over there
Yeah.
with her big belly.
Yeah. The little
That we all feel sorry for her because she's ready to have her baby. Miserable, huh?
Oh
And it's
well.
fun
Take
after
a
it's
picture
out.
of the dog.
Oh, let's don't say we did.
How many do you have?
Take a picture.
It's right out the front door of Uncle Wayne's house. Here we are at Uncle Wayne's house. Out in the country. He has lots of open air, open spaces.
Let's go up here and show.
We're gonna look at the garden.
Yeah, we'll go up there to the garden, and your mom will say when she sees her little whatnot thing out there, she, oh, I never had that. This is what I'm in the project of doing right now. Let's put this in the ground. I moved this antenna used to be on the front of the house, and we moved it back, and I got the wiring here to.
Why did you move it back?
Well, I didn't have a mast like this here. I had it hooked on the side of the house, you know, and it was no good. You know, I mean, I didn't like it this way. This way, I got it up higher and it's more sturdy. And we'll put my TV antenna. So I'm gonna start on the other side of the house. I'm gonna anchor it right up there on the same post, you know, just below this.
How
thing.
far in the ground is it?
About 4.5 foot.
Huh.
Yeah, I can get clear. I can talk clear almost into Columbus on that thing. That's what I'm TV.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know you had a CD. Yes. Where is it?
On the stand there, right by my outside of the TV.
Oh.
Used to be in the kitchen all the time, and then I'm moving it all.
What's your handle?
Just W.
Just W?
Mm-hmm. This is gonna be the garden again. Later than this last year, and then I was just starting on it. They got a lot of cow manure in there, and as you can see, it's on top. I plowed it all under, so I'll till it all in the garden. It makes real good fertilizer. So it makes things grow.
What are you going to plant?
Corn, butter beans, and potatoes.
Nice. Is butter beans lima beans?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I call them.
I like lima beans.
Mm-hmm. The big lima. Still got some in here. This is
It's freezing.
Up here was where your
I got wet hair,
mom,
kinda.
your dad was kind of interested in this spot. Where your mom more than your dad, I think.
I'm sure if it was Ohio, it would be more than
This is.
What do I have to push? Say what it is again. What is this again?
This is the place where they was, looking at their little trailer if they come back, or their fifth wheel camper, and they'll have a little location up there. And they got a place to hook up their electricity, and there's water up there.
That's the road right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have their own little interest here to stay here.
That's fun.
Or they get parking down here by the house, or out here.
Go back to his house so you see how far
I
away.
took my thumb off and the light is still on.
It's okay. You push it again when you want it to go off.
Oh, I do it again now? So we're coming into the back of Uncle Wayne's house. It's Gail and Wayne. We just went out and saw the garden in the back of his property. And I'm hoping I'm not going to trip, because I'm not looking where I'm going. I'll run into a tree, because I've never done this before. Oh my goodness, there's a post. Better not hit it. We've had a lot of fun here with Patty and Peggy, John and Boyd and Roger, Wayne. Aunt Dorothy's coming in today on the plane from Utah. She was back there because Penny had her baby, little son.
One cluster.
Turn and look now.
Okay, this is Peggy's house. Nice house here. They have about 7.5 acres.
This is Tammy and Trevor, Ruth, Boyd and Judy's kids. In front of their home in Athens. Want to say hi? How are you? And this is their home. This is the back side and their garage. Judy just picked us up in Columbus and brought us out here. Now we're going to spend a couple days with them. Tammy?
Yeah?
How old are you?
10.
Tammy's 10. Trevor, how old are you?
4.
You're 4. They're sweethearts. We rode all the way with them. I was in the back seat with them, and they're just real fun kids. We're real happy to be here with them and visit with them. Something, come on, guys.
Hey, hi, welcome, Nathan.
This is This is Brenda Ruth, Brill's sister. We know Brill because he keeps coming back.
Oh, it's got a video of it. It's got, what you got, speaker?
But yes, we can hear you. Yeah. And I was taking
Vegas? I was out there 2 years ago.
Were you really?
Uh-huh.
It's hot and dry and brown. I was just taking pictures of Tammy and Trevor out here, and Brenda comes walking by asking me who I was, so we ended up finding out who she was. So we're going to go in the house now and surprise the snot out of Gail.
No, we lived on Richland Avenue.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me and Mamie both had diphtheria at the same time.
You had it too, but she died.
I had too. We
Oh, I
both had
never
the same
heard
time.
that. Huh.
Yeah, and Dad had to carry the casket. They wouldn't let us have no funeral or anything. Dad had to carry the
Because
casket.
of the
Diphtheria?
contagiousness. You're kidding.
Isn't that so?
Huh.
So there were six.
I saved her.
There were 6 girls. One was stillborn. One died. And
See,
then
there was Orphe.
Orphe.
Eunice.
Wait a
Yours, that's yours.
I remember that one.
Orphe and Eunice and Vernus and Mamie and Pearl and me and Frida. And then Mom had 9 children. She had 7 girls and 2 boys.
And then would you say Sherman and Ray?
Yeah,
Sherman
that
Ray,
would make
2 boys, yeah.
2 boys.
They're
7
both
girls.
dead,
She
yeah.
had
I was
7
gonna say they're
girls.
both living.
See, she had Orphe and Sherman and Eunice and Ray. And then she had 5 straight girls.
Yeah, that's Grandma. We never see her. Grandma called. She was a little lady.
Yeah, I remember her.
Do you remember her?
I sure do. And she was a small.
I most
Oh,
certainly
yeah.
do remember her.
I remember visiting her, but I don't remember that she was small.
I do remember her very well. I mean, she was really tiny.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And where did she raise you?
Huh?
Right here?
No, we lived out on Richland Avenue.
On
Out
this-
in Mechanicsburg.
I'll take you down
Was
there.
that in
a bit.
Athens?
Down by the place.
Down there.
I can take you, show you the house.
Yeah, if I went to...
I used to go there. They always ate at 11:30. No matter if I was in town when I was a kid. If you want to get to eat some of Grandma's,
Be there at 11:30.
11:30.
Yeah, you had to be there time to eat or
You got to be there. You're just too late. That's all. 11:30 now. They ate dinner.
Yeah,
That's funny.
That was it.
yeah.
course.
And, yeah. We
11:30.
lived up on the hill up there. And I went to Mechanicsburg School, and then I went into Athens High School, and only 2 schools I ever went to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
11:30. Well, you want to be there.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And your mom's name is, and your dad's
My
name?
mom's name was Nancy Levina.
Nancy.
Nancy Levina was my mother's name.
Maiden name McKibben.
McKibben, yeah, back
Yeah,
on back
that would be
McKibben.
McKibben.
And McKibben was her maiden name.
Yeah.
Maiden name, yeah.
And Dad's was just George. We never knew anything else but George.
You never had a middle name, did you?
No, we knew that.
I never heard of it. George.
Dad died when he was 68, and Mom died when she was 87. And Orphe died when she was 87. See, her birthday was the 12th of July. Mom was married on the 10th of July, and she was born the next year on the 12th of July. And when she took sick, she'd been, on the 12th of July, she'd been 87, and she was in the hospital, and she said, I want to live till I'm 87, be able to my mother. And she did. She lived the next day, and then she died.
Oh,
She
boy.
lived to be 87. She died with cancer, Orphe did. But she, I said, I was a sister, and Eunice was close, but Orphe was never close to me, because she was married when we was little, and we was left home, and we was never around her like we was the rest of them.
Who was Eunice the closest to? Would that be you?
But she's close to me. Eunice was close.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
With that many kids, it would be likely that they would kind of either pair off or be closer in one way or
But
another.
Orphe, I said, and when Mamie died, see, she couldn't have come. She'd come look the wind at her, but she couldn't have been. And
I've never heard that.
That she's buried out in Marshall, her and Vernon Scotty.
Yeah.
Granny McCollins is buried out
Where did
there,
those
too.
names come from? Your names are all...
Oh, yes.
Those Ernest. Tell us about your name. Where did they
You know
come
what?
from?
But you wouldn't want my middle name now.
Now I've got to know. Tell me, I'll look it up. I'll ask until I find out. I'll ask Frida. That's what I So you might as well tell me.
Valera.
What?
Valera.
Valera.
V-A-L-E-R-I-A. Venice Valera.
Boy, that was a mouthful, huh?
Why? My goodness.
Why? You asked them.
I certainly will.
Nobody knows my middle name. Frida's is Modell.
Now, I remember hearing that. I do remember hearing
I
that.
thought Eunice Fern was the strangest all these years, and I thought Eunice Fern.
Well,
Where did that ever
Pearl's is Rena Pearl. Now, her first name was Rena.
Rena.
Rena, R-E-N-A, Rena Pearl.
You would have never heard that, Rena.
Now, you know, Grandma gave Mom her name, and then Mom gave Fern to me.
Yeah.
And I gave Fern to my daughter. I don't know if you know that or not.
No.
I have a Kimberly Fern. I should show you a picture of her. Maybe
She's another
I
little.
thought she had all boys.
No. I've got 2 little girls. I've got 3 boys and 2 girls. Let me show you a picture of my Kimberly.
I thought some. I thought Free told me you had all boys.
And I figured.
I know Gail had 3 boys.
You got and a little girl. That
Yeah.
you remembered that. That's
Yeah, but
well, I have.
and I can remember all them kids. I mean the boy's name. I know Rusty, and I don't know the other one's name.
Ron.
Ron. That's it. I couldn't think of it.
That's my Kimberly.
That's your Kimberly.
Doesn't she look like her?
Huh?
Doesn't she look
Yeah,
like
She
her?
looks like her mom.
It's just going right on, isn't it?
See, all those ferns just all look
Boy,
alike.
she's a pretty girl. How old is she?
She's 9.
9. Well, she's same age
She's
to
9.
Haley. Same age to Haley
She's 9
now.
going on about 23.
Uh-huh.
She wants the ears pierced and the jewelry and the, she
Yeah.
wants to be able to wear little nylons to church
Well, that's
and
the
stuff.
way
And I'm
Haley
going,
does. We bought her stuff for Christmas, and then she said, next year for Christmas, I don't want it.
She didn't know.
See somebody dressed up awful pretty. Oh, everyday dress on.
You look fine. You look great.
That's why I told Gail she found out how I live.
We found out how she really lives, she said.
No, but Carol
As
said
long
it
as
must be
that
Friday
wine.
and Thursday, and I thought, well, I get everything done today. Now, when you come with me, it look respectable. So you tell
Well,
your
I
mom
think
you
you
found-
look
you tell your mom
respectable.
you found a dirty house.
Oh, no. I'll never tell her I found a dirty house. It's just beautiful.
Uncle Jack at the mill
Health
house.
center. Well, Uncle Jack might be here sometime.
We want to know where it is so we can find it again.
We want to make sure and visit Uncle Jack.
Get back to him.
Yeah.
Picture, don't you think?
But,
Yeah. Like
where we are.
We don't, but what do you think?
But,
Go on it.
here's an old door.
I have an old blessed building here. Okay.
Open the door if you want to.
This is
No window. You can't roll the window down.
Can't roll the window down.
No window. There's a roll down. The window there. You can't roll.
This is in Athens, Ohio, and there's a little street called Atlantic Avenue, and the 3rd house from the end of the street is where the McCullens kids were raised. That would be Eunice Fern McCullens. That would be our grandma, Gail's and Pam's grandma. And we're looking up there where the blue Mustang is up there. That's the house. And every day, Jack told us that every day, if you were hungry and you wanted to be eaten, that you needed to be at Grandma's house by, that would be their grandma, you'd need to be at Grandma's house by 11:30 sharp, because she was real serious about her timing when it came to eating. So
that kid, boy, I whipped him.
Who was that you whipped
Roger,
to?
Roger. I asked him when he was down there if he remembered me whipping him. He said, yeah, he remembered.
Oh, he remembered?
He remembered me whipping him. But he was just small, he just took his fingers over there and reached over there. Now, Roberta says she can remember a lot of things that happened there that I don't even remember.
Who?
Roberta.
Roberta,
Says she can remember a lot of things that happened there at Mom's house that I don't even remember.
Now, are we still talking about the same house on Richmond?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
same on Richmond.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Corey Webb used to whip Rogers. I mean, he never forgot that either.
Yeah.
Well, he used to whip my daily.
Boy, that Roger must have been one heck of a boy.
I know he got
Everyone
under
was
the bed.
whipping
He got
Roger.
under the bed a few times, and Corey couldn't even hardly get him out.
Yeah. Oh, dear. Boy, she used to call me up once in a while and go over a whole bunch of stuff Corey did.
Yeah.
Who's Corey now? I don't know who that
Well,
is.
she's passed away now.
Oh, she?
Uh-huh.
She's a Webb's, just a friend of Mom's.
A friend.
But she would, things way back. She
Bob told me this
talked
morning
about.
that they sold their old car.
Oh, did they? It was still sitting there, though. It wasn't there too good.
68 Plymouth, I think.
Yeah, white one. Yeah.
Said they either sold it or somebody said started right off, told it about.
Now, you've got the dark eyes and the dark hair like,
Well, Ross still
Yes.
got the place
Yes.
where she lived.
Well, he's administrator
Got her
and
name, too.
everything.
yeah.
Who? Ross
And then I
oh,
gave
is
it to
he?
my daughter, too.
Well, I didn't
I
know
need
for
to
sure.
show
I was out to
everybody
Virgil
Kim's
Hoffman's
picture.
neighbors about his garden.
Yeah,
And he
Let
used
me
to tell
show
me
you.
about him and Robert's pretty good friends. And
Pamela Fern.
Fern, and Eunice is Eunice Fern.
Robert said
And
that
Mom is Roberta Fern, and then I gave
Roscoe
Kimberly Fern.
got the place
Well,
where she
and I'll
lived.
show you a picture
As long
of
as he
her.
lived, then John Myra gets it.
She's
The
not.
way I understand it.
Uh-huh.
Married John Robinson.
Yeah, I know.
That's the way Virgil told me. Now, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the way I had got it was out there where Bob
Oh,
built his
yeah.
new house on the plains.
She's got the dark hair, too.
Yeah,
He,
she's
just
very,
went
she's
out there
dark
and
with
built
heavy
one for
eyebrows.
Corey and her sister.
Earl Grant.
Wait a minute, I know it. Wait a
She,
minute,
but
I
she
know it.
passed it on?
Well, it's horrible.
Wait a minute, I'm gonna know.
Well, it ain't got no
Freedom
horrible.
Freedom Odell.
Yes.
I wrote them down. I sat there and
Well,
said,
that whole time getting out of Venice, what her middle name was, one of them said, well, I'll ask Frida, she'll tell me.
Dennis Valera. Isn't it?
yeah.
Valera.
And she wouldn't tell me, and I was teasing her. I says, hey, you might as well tell me because I'm going to ask Frida.
Yeah, Dennis Valera.
Oh, I said we
But
had.
I think I wrote it down. It looks like Valerie almost.
Where'd they get them names?
It almost looks like Valerie.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Valeria.
got Valeria.
And it looks like Valeria,
Uh-huh.
you know. but
And
they
then
say
she
Valeria.
gave that horrible thing to be. I don't know.
Modell.
Jane
Modell.
Modell.
I call her
Is that
Jane.
your middle name?
Yes.
And you think, why do these
Oh,
women
how
do this?
sweet.
Oh,
That
sweet.
was nice, huh?
And I named him after nobody.
Nobody.
That's the way to do it.
He's a nobody, huh?
He is not named after. No.
It's
Oh.
unfortunate, but I named
Why
my
not call her
No, they didn't call her Mona, my dad. When my dad mom got married, he called her Nancy. He's the only one that ever called her Nancy.
Yep.
But my grandparents, I think they all called her Vine.
Don't tickle me.
Well, then when Roberta was little, she always said, Grandma, nobody named anybody after you. And she said, when I have a girl, I'm going to call one of them Nancy. Well, she did.
Yeah, she did.
She did, uh-huh.
Sweet.
She did,
Sure did.
She always told Mom that.
Because nobody
Don't
used the
tickle me.
Nancy, did they? Nobody used Nancy?
Nobody never
Or
used it.
Lavina.
Uh-huh.
Either one.
No, neither one
And
of them.
she didn't use either one of them for her kid. Any
No,
of them?
none of her kids or nothing.
I like that name, Nancy.
Oh, yeah.
I do.
No, I don't know.
My
That's
grandma, her
where
mother
in
gave
the-
them all strange
where
names.
in the dictionary-
She could have used Nancy, huh?
Do you have any idea where those names came?
Here's the grandma for that.
Just out, like,
Here's the grandma
she
for
dreamt
that.
it
Aunt
up on
Pearl,
her.
yeah. Aunt Pearl was Rena Pearl.
Yeah, we got
Her
that.
name was Rinley McCollins. Isn't that horrible?
Well, she was
Oh.
named after a president.
That's when it died.
That was after the
And
president.
I didn't know that till the day that she was 7 years old and died. But
Yeah.
She was 8 and a half when she died.
She was
8 and a
telling
half.
us, Venice was telling us all about it,
Uh-huh.
and I never realized that, what was it, had
Diphtheria.
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 And she died at 7 years old. I never knew that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Vernus, we had one Vernus, but she was born dead. She
Yeah,
was between Eunice and Rudd.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
She
Well,
wrote she
I
wrote
wrote
them all down.
down.
Uh-huh.
But I didn't know she died at 7 years old. I never knew
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm. I was about 2 years old when she died. She lived out on Richmond Avenue. When
Yeah,
she died.
Venice said.
Mm-hmm.
Orpha.
Orpha. Yeah,
That's
she'd
old.
never heard of Orpha.
This is my baby, Orpha.
Orpha May.
I just don't see a
Orpha
little
May.
baby named Orpha May.
Yeah,
I just
Orpha
can't see it. She's, come here, Orpha. Frida, that's fine. That's Frida's fine. Venice is even fine. Orpha is
Orpha's
a
little.
funny name, and they're just funny. Those.
She's just as odd as her name, too.
What the? Oh no!
Orphy
The
was.
truth comes out here.
Ann Orphy would come in the bank when I worked uptown, and she would never come to me. I never waited on her, and I'd go over to her and I'd say, Ann Orphy, do you know who I am? Yes. That was it. That was it. Not another word.
Yeah.
And isn't it funny?
She was only
She's your
only
aunt.
Collins that
Yeah,
didn't
she's
talk.
your aunt.
I know she never much.
She's the only one that never talked.
No,
Yeah.
never spent a word.
That's
Of course, now the talking comes from the Kivin. It didn't come from the Collins.
Yeah.
Her dad wasn't much of a
That's what I heard.
talker.
Yeah.
It didn't come from the
Yeah.
dad's
It
side.
came from Nancy.
It came from the McKibben. Came from
Where am I
McKibben.
talking?
Did
Well,
she
she's-
talk? Did she talk a lot too? Was she
Mom?
No, your mom.
Oh yeah.
We know our mom talks and Pam talks and Nancy talks and Melody talks. I'm not sure whether I do.
Gail, and that's funny. Gail's the oldest, and so is Orpha, and Gail's Gail's probably the more.
Well, Orpha-
The weird
You're the
one.
quiet, not weird, quiet. No, if it were your niece, you wouldn't say yes in the bank and never say that.
No, she was that
No,
way.
Gail's
I
an
know you just-
excellent. Gail's
Yeah.
an
I know
excellent.
you said, what of it?
Yeah, I know. That's the way you felt. Yeah.
It's just because everybody else is so busy talking, maybe she never had a chance to get a word in.
No, I'll tell you.
I can relate to that.
Yeah, doesn't think she heard it all.
I spoke to her a few times in later years, but
She was like Dad's mother.
I'm sure she knew
She
me.
was, we called her Granny. See, Dad and Mom had just married 2 months when they went and got his mother, and we called her Granny. And I was 8 when she died. She died in I was 8 in November, and she died in April.
Who is this?
That was my father's mother.
What's her name?
Her name was McCollins, and that was my father's mother. And
Okay.
she lived with them all the time. That
What was her first name? Do you know her first name?
I'm sorry, it was Anna Margaret.
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 Anne Margaret.
And she was
She'll yell at me
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, never mind. It's just
if I
really.
touch these curtains.
I'm sorry. I just
That's all
thought
right.
it's just
No,
really
I
glary.
yell at you.
Is that okay?
Well, I've
Yep.
gotten yelled at before for touching these curtains.
Well, you just want to fool with them.
Thanks,
But
dear.
anyway, she lived with Mom and Dad all them years now, and all them 9 kids and everything we had. And she never told my father who his father was, whether she ever had any brothers or sisters, who her parents was. She kept her life a blank.
And her name was Margaret.
Anna Margaret.
Anna Margaret McCollins.
Supposed to be. She's supposed to
And
be
you-
my grandmother.
She's the mother of George McCollins, and you don't know anything
No,
past her.
no. And as I
She
said,
just never
now
told
Dad, Mom,
anybody
just about
anything.
2 months, Dad says, I'm going to get my mother's, and since she's worked hard for out with people and things, and I'm going to get her and keep her.
Well, see,
They kept her all them years. My dad buried her.
yeah,
And-
but your dad come out of children's home, and you
Yes,
don't know what his name
no,
was.
he
They told
ran
me
away
his
from
name
the children's
was
home
George
when he was 12 years
McCollins.
old.
Now, whether his name was George Mack
Collins.
or George McCollins.
I don't know. When he's 12 years old, he ran away from the children's home. And his mother was a working there at the county home. And she said she was his
Yeah, but she
mother.
never told him.
And so he went to a man by the name of Sam Morris that he knowed. And he told him, he says, you go back and get your right name and your right age. And he went back and they told him his name was George McCollins. He was 12 years old. And from that on, he made his own life.
But his mom worked at the home? Yeah, okay.
And so he, after him and
She
Mom.
knew she was his mother.
Well,
She said
oh, it's
she knows
supposed to
her
be.
son.
Yeah.
I mean, what I mean, she never said nothing all them years. But Dad and Mom never questioned her, see? Well, they should have questioned her.
You bet. I would have been wondering who the heck I had in my home. Is it
I mean,
sure it's my mother?
They didn't, and we just called her Granny. That's what we called her, Granny. And she never interfered with none of us kids or nothing. And us kids just treated her, we thought, like one of the family. And but Mom and Dad corrected us. She never said nothing. She just kept everything to herself. But she kept her life a blank. And we never knowed. Nope, nothing
Quiet
about it.
person. Quiet, just to herself.
Yeah, just, I mean, now there ain't very many people could do that. I mean, just live for years and years and years and never say
And
nothing.
never have anybody know anything about him.
Never had nothing wrong.
Could be a million different things.
Yeah. Whether as he had a father, but where his father was, nobody knows. Your mom and dad said they're coming back to the Wood reunion this year
That's what I heard, yeah.
When will that be?
in September.
Well, they might as well with Dad retiring.
Dad's
They've
retiring
got nothing
in
but
April.
time.
Now Roberta's having a big time down there.
Oh, yeah.
Where's that held at?
Down to, well, they're gonna have it at a different place this year.
Doing it down here on 33 this year,
Yeah, but they're really having it down to Rutland.
back up, Kingsbury. What is them people's name?
Oh, to the house, that place? Oh,
Is it their name Wood or the other?
Yeah, the old man ain't able to go out anymore, and this was his daughter was a keeping him,
Yeah.
because they're gonna have it to their house.
But it's been down to the
Been that
Rutland.
park down there, Forest Run
Park.
Park, or Forest Acres
My dad-
Park.
it's on Old 33?
No,
No, no?
that was Rutland.
Okay.
It was down
Not
to
that
Rutland.
goes wrong. There's a nice place down there, they had a
Dad's
silver
done a
house.
little bit of
Your
everything.
brother's
Yeah.
married and married to Brenda.
Yeah.
Well, now this road you're
That
talking
wasn't
about,
one
that
of you
below
that
the
we
park
knew
on
Brenda?
33
She
there?
knows Brenda Moore,
Yeah.
and then
Kingsbury?
Debbie came out and lived with
You
Tom
get below the park and turn your
Yeah.
right?
across the street
Okay.
from us, and so I know Debbie Moore. She knows
All right.
Brenda
I
Moore.
thought,
The Gary and Brenda were just out home last
But
night.
now, oh, I never saw so much
Yeah.
food to eat in my
I
life.
don't know
We'd like
what
to
the
maybe
number
look them up. I don't know
of
where
the road
they're in
is.
Athens.
Oh, yeah.
they're on 18 or 19 or 20, and there's
I
someplace.
think it's about the second one after you hit the 4-lane down there.
I'll get the information
Well, I
and
think
things. I mean, they always
I
say.
know where it's at.
Somewhere. I'm
I
almost sure
forget
it's
what the
first.
woman's name was now. She was a Wood before she was married.
I scared you.
You did scare me.
Mom and Debbie is
All they have to
What
know.
was it your boys were doing? Gail, you know, like if, any mother who's been pushed to her limit or something, or throw something, you'd thrown a pin or something, a writing pin at one of
yeah.
the boys or something.
Can I see
They're-
my
they're
mom and
friends.
dad?
They
Just
go
a
to the
second.
chiropractor, and
Because I
the
videotaped it.
chiropractor's their friend.
Oh,
they go to
yeah.
church with.
Been friends for 20 years with
Forever
us.
and ever. Their oldest son, he's 16.
That's Justin.
He goes to the chiropractor and he's doing whatever adjustment on his back or something, and he goes. My mom throws things at us.
And I said, wait a minute, I threw one thing in your whole entire life out of sheer frustration.
He was just teasing, and he did it without a. I mean, he didn't
they
smile.
didn't.
He
It's
was
just to
he was
tease me.
just to
Oh, I
bug
could
her,
kill him.
just to get her in trouble, you know,
Yeah.
and just irritating. She told me that. She goes, I cannot believe him. I wanted to knock him. She goes, I wanted to throw something at him. I'll throw something at him.
Lois's husband's in the hospital, ain't he?
Yeah, he's up to Chillicothe. He's up there.
Is that heavy?
I ain't bad.
Yeah, Alzheimer's.
Starting to getting good video over here, though.
He didn't, after they buried Wayne Harris, we all went down to Wayne's house, and Dick was there. He didn't seem
This
to be
kind
too
you put
bad.
on your TV then?
But the
Yeah.
boss said
We
that
just
he-
got a VCR
he's
and
been,
my
you know,
husband,
you know,
well, I
couldn't
sure
keep
would
track
like to
of it.
have
He
one
got
of
in the middle.
Here we are visiting Shade, Ohio. We're up at the
kind of a hill.
A cemetery up here. We're going to go look at Grandma Ruth's gravesite.
Trip.
Right there, I guess, is the little store where Uncle Jax's mom used to go in. Mom and him. Flowers there.
See, here's Uncle Gordon over here, see? This is Lois. If she's still alive, she's remarried, but she's going to be buried there.
Where's Lucy Watts?
That's Grandma, my grandma.
That's Grandpa's mom.
That's right. Yeah, that's Grandpa and Grandma. Lucy Watts Ruth, yeah. And Grandpa Ruth.
Lois is still alive.
Yeah, Lois still alive. Gordon.
Who puts flowers on these like this?
Oh, we all do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, 1943. That's 44 years ago, I guess.
Yeah, they just forgot one little part. They forgot to put fern.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, they did. Yep, Eunice Fern McCollum. She was born 2 years after that. This grandpa's brother.
Christopher. Oh, okay.
My grandpa Ruth, brother, died in 1930. Fremont. Yep.
I've never heard of him before ever.
Yeah, well, we always called him. Well, I was just a kid, but I remember they called him Mont. They left the free off.
Mont,
They just called him M-O-N-T, but his name was Fremont. And we always
There's
just.
a Henry Ruth over
Yeah, that's another brother, Grandpa's brother, Henry.
Oh, it's a big one. It says
I'm going to
Ruth.
show you that place. That's where your mom was born. I'm going to show you where she,
Oh,
where her and I was
Now
born.
What about him? What, at his home?
The house is still there, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But see, your mom and I was the only ones born in this house. The rest of us born in the log house. Besides Margaret, I'll show you where she was born.
Yeah.
Well, they lived in the log house, and Doc and Doris was born there, and so they moved over to this other place where I'm going to show you. And Bertie and I was